Country road, take me home to the place where I belong. West Pensacola, Air Bnb. Stupid motherfuckers stay on their knees. Okay. Hey, welcome back to Jackal's Nest. It's been a minute. The Jackal, whatever the fuck I went by. And that is LD behind the camera.
Hello, hello.
Boy, it's been a while.
Sure has.
It's been a while. Whew. You should have seen it. We couldn't find the top to the tripod to where the clip threads in.
To hold the camera?
Yeah. So there's basically rubber bands and shit holding it down right now.
Zip ties.
You breathe on it funny, it's done. It's done.
We're doing our best, okay? We're doing our best.
I mean, I could do better. But why? Why? It's a failed YouTube channel. Who cares?
True.
It's failed.
True.
You know. Alright, so what have we been up to? So I almost did an episode a couple of weeks ago because I got into it in the comments of somebody's YouTube, and that's what he said to me. He said, I'm sorry your YouTube channel failed. Imagine.
Wasn't that the meow guy?
Oh yeah, meow something.
Lion meow,
Meow.
or something?
Yeah, lion meow. I think he was talking shit about Red Bar too. So I guess I don't really even need to fuck with that too much. He's trying to have a whole world of mess heading his way. Well, no, I just thought his thumbnails were a little misleading. And then he was being a crybaby about how hard it is to be a streamer. And I just made fun of him a little bit, and he told me, sorry, your YouTube channel failed.
Which means he took the time to look you up, and
Yeah,
he cared
well,
enough,
he,
you know.
He clicked on my name. Had he watched any of it, he realized that we never tried to succeed in the first place.
True.
It's a fucking hobby. I think it's funny. To me, anybody struggling to survive doing the YouTube videos, to me, that's a joke. Get a job.
Yeah. Work like a real man.
Yeah. Maybe you might be a lion's roar if you had a real job.
That's true.
Just
It's
be able to
true.
fucking meow.
He wouldn't just be a little meow.
Mhm.
Yeah.
We never claimed to be lions. We always said we were jackals.
That's right. Come in for some leftovers here and there.
So I guess it's been a long, we've been pretty busy. I've been doing more music stuff lately.
Yeah, that's true.
LD has been just working her butt off at her job. So
Per usual.
I got a job, I just don't have to work as long as hours. That's it, man. We just living the family life. Got this dog. Got Missy still. She's still.
Being super good right now.
Yeah, she is actually being very good. We hadn't done this in so long. I didn't know she'd just start barking when I started using my YouTube voice, started speaking up, And,
No, she's actually sleeping right now.
yeah, she just laid down and went to sleep on her toy. It's doing pretty good.
girl. Yeah.
So what's been going on?
What's been going on?
Why start doing it now?
All right.
Well, I guess there's two things I'd like to talk about this week.
Okay.
One being, of course, all this H3 stuff. And I know everybody's already talked about it, but anybody that, the whole point is just give my and LD's opinions on this kind of stuff. We're not breaking news, We're not making news.
And I'll be honest, I haven't followed it very closely.
Yeah, which is
just
kind of good because I can kind of explain some of it to you.
Yeah.
But it is just going to be mostly just us talking about kind of like from our perspective as just regular people on the poor side. But it's, what we think about all this back and forth. Now, that'll be the next one. Right now, we're going to talk about something local that happened. Now, I play music from time to time, play a couple little gigs here and there, no big deal. We play mostly originals. We don't really get into the whole cover scene, so we might, whenever we're actually practicing and writing music and playing music, we might play a few shows a year. We've been doing 20 years. It's actually 20-year anniversary.
Nice.
We've just been, writing songs and playing gigs and having a good time. But one of the places that we played once. Because like I said, I think it's been, other than that one gig we played last year, I don't think we played a gig in a couple of years.
Yeah.
Like we did it hard a couple of years ago and played a bunch of gigs, and then we just kind of was doing different shit for a while. Because the other two guys in my band are amazing musicians that play in multiple bands. So they're always real busy. I'm just pretty much like, if they get bored playing that shit, they call me up.
But I mean, the venue you guys were at was super cool. I had an awesome time.
Oh yeah, they had like
Yeah.
weed drinks and stuff.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
weed infused drinks. It was nice. Legal weed at that.
Well, yeah,
you know?
it was legal
So it was
stuff
really
that
nice.
derived from hemp or whatever.
Yeah.
But bad thing happened. Wasn't my band, it was my drummer's other band where he plays guitar, because he's a better guitar player than me. It's better at everything music than me. But he was supposed to play this gig with his band, his other band that's getting pretty big in the area. They're actually doing a little bit of touring, going out of the state to do shows. And their show got canceled, and in fact the whole bar got shut down. What happened? They were playing shows, you know, every weekend there's shows getting played. But little did they know, there's a few Air Bnbs in the area.
God
And
forbid.
they gave a low review to the owner of the Airbnb because the music was loud. Then the Airbnb owner called, I guess just called in, just code enforcement people on them. And code enforcement people found an issue with their fire systems. As this is what I know about it. I could be wrong. This is what I heard through the grapevine. They had problems with their sprinklers or whatever, and it cost a lot of money to update it to the current, like what it should be at. So they basically shut down. And I just thought maybe we talk about Airbnbs. You know, what are they? Now, do you know what Airbnb is?
I do. I have the general idea of it.
It's kind of like some, like, you know how people make fun of like landlords? These are like worse than landlords. They're like motherfuckers that want to run a hotel out of house, basically, but also take all the amenities of the hotel away from you.
Exactly.
And charge you extra if they got to do anything.
Yeah.
So if you go there and they have to do anything at all after you leave, they charge you a bunch of extra money. You know, when you go to a hotel, you go there and you just leave your shit all over the floor. You don't give a damn. It's the hotel.
Yeah.
Cleaning lady comes, cleans it up. That's part of the charge.
Exactly.
Not the Airbnb. Now, not only are you responsible for a room with 2 beds in it, you're responsible for a whole motherfucking house. Half your trip, you're going to be doing housework. So I don't get it in the first place. But here's the thing,
Me
I really
neither.
don't get. Because this was a bar. The bar we're talking about, I guess it's not technically a bar. The venue we're talking about is in the shitty part of town. It's in the part of town where you go there at 5:30 in the morning and there's motherfuckers everywhere. Dude, they're on the side of the street. They're walking around. They might not have clothes on. They might be shitting when you drive past them. They might be doing all sorts of things. As I actually pick up a coworker from that side of town, and at 5:30 in the morning, I've seen some shit. These people have not gone to bed yet,
Well,
wherever they do
I think
sleep.
that's pretty self-explanatory what's
So,
going on around there.
You go there. So I thought it was funny. I went to the Airbnb website and looked up some of the properties over there. And boy, I'll tell you what they don't have. Shots of the view from there. They don't have shots of out the windows. They don't have shots from the street. So they're basically tricking people into renting these places out with flowery language. You know, they're language about, oh, it's so close to the airport. And, you know, because it's kind of downtownish, so it's close to a lot of main roads. So they try to make it seem like that's some big important thing. It's like, oh, you're right by, you know, Pensacola Beach. It's like, yeah, kind of, you know.
You're still about,
You're about
8 miles away
You're
from
about
it.
3
but...
fender benders away from getting there.
Yeah.
Maybe get stopped behind a truck that was too tall and over the overpass and got fucked up on 17th Avenue.
Yeah.
You might have some issues when you get to that part.
Exactly.
But to me, I think they probably get a lot more. And I did see on some of theirs, a lot of them had 5-star reviews, 5 stars, 5 stars. And then they have 4 stars. They're smaller reviews. It's a lot of people talk about how shitty that part of town is.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm thinking, dude probably got probably got more than just it's too loud from the bar. It probably was like, I'm also pissed that when I got here, it's in the ghetto. It's like a fucking bullshit part of town where there's fucking people slinging feces at each other in the street. And that's to say nothing about these people's backgrounds or anything about them other than the fact that they down on their luck now and you can't trust them as far as you could throw them. And that might be a lie because some of them are pretty skinny. So, not to say that they're inherently bad people, but it's a rough area. You go over there, you don't count money while you're walking down the street. It's not a good idea.
Yeah. Well,
somebody
I
got
think
shot right down the road from where I picked Charles up.
Yeah.
2 blocks down, he got shot just last week. Shot. And that is about 6 blocks away from where we're talking about.
Well, what I was going to say, like, you may come to Pensacola because you hear it's like super nice, the beaches are very nice, but you still have to understand we're still in a panhandle. Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of panhandle behavior here. You know, so you're taking a chance with any B&B you rent here. You know, and you can't blame a venue that has, for the most part, I would say, like, honest people.
Well, the noise,
going there.
The noise isn't the problem.
No, it's not.
That's why the Airbnb got pissed off. But that's not why they got shut down, because you're allowed to make noise up to a certain time of night in that area of town. Yeah. Especially because there's venues there, and there used to be other venues there, but they've all moved away or whatever. But it's not exclusively like suburb or anything.
Right.
But here's the icing on the cake, the great thing I want everybody to know. It sounds like Airbnb business is dying.
Hopefully.
So all these motherfuckers that bought a bunch of houses, because the guy we're talking about, he lives in Washington.
Right, he has no idea what this area is actually like. He probably just bought a few houses around here.
Mm-hmm. And those are the regular people. That's the people that are just citizens. There's also corporations been buying up houses to use as Airbnbs, and all these motherfuckers, the money is going away because there's only but so many people that need to stay in an Airbnb somewhere, and the money's going away, and they're all up shit's creek before too long. So, I guess my point at the end of all this is, you fucking lazy fuckers, get a real job. And if everybody just had a real job and worked, we could all have a house. You know, but whenever some people get a little bit ahead and they start buying up houses for no fucking reason because they're too lazy to have a job, well then that's when they start ruining it for everybody. And I'm not going to say a lot more because, you know, we end up having to not put videos out when I get a little bit more irate about this stuff. Where are we at on time now, D?
Almost 14 minutes.
That sounds about right. All right, shut her down, please.
All right.
I'll see you next time.
Bye.